Hello folks, Scott Grove here once again. It's been a long time since we did the country lead guitar thing. We're going to pick up where we left off on that big 2-hour long thing we did last time. I'm going to do it all on one guitar this time. What the heck is this thing? Actually, we're all going all the way back to a 1980 something Washburn that I got a hold of with a roto zip and a pre-wired strap pick guard and redid everything on this thing, so check that dude out. Just got tired looking at the Strats and Tellys. They're all still here, hundreds of them. But we're going to stay on this guitar today. Anyway, what we're going to concentrate on now is a whole bunch of stuff I could not fit in the last one. I'm going to cram it into an hour this time, folks, on one little hour. So we're going to go along a little faster pace. If you're looking for pedal steel guitar stuff, you missed my old video. No pedal steel stuff this time, folks. That's all on the last one. So go back and get that one if you're skipping ahead. Okay, shame on you if you didn't get the last one. All the audio problems from the last one have been fixed. We're doing FireWires instead of USBs. Everything works out perfect. Okay, so what we're doing, I've got a little cheat sheet over here, my little script, if you will. What we're going to be doing, I'm going to take it off the screen so nobody can cheat. Okay, so in the meantime, what we're going to be doing is we'll be doing stuff like this, a lot of open string stuff. Okay, so you got all that kind of thing. You've got some other hammer-on pull-off things that we'll be doing. Okay, yeah, and we got some more hammer-on pull-offs. There's going to be a lot of this on here. You've got this. Okay, we're going to have things like that. We're also going to have things that are very, very similar to that, on different strings and so forth. So you'll be able to learn how to do those. Okay, so we're going to have those things. We're going to come down here too. We're also going to do very basic, simple little bend things. Things like this. I'm still looking over here. We've got all kinds of things we're going to be doing. We're going to be showing you how to do different volume pedal things. If you don't have one, you're in the wrong biz, folks. Volume pedal and a compressor, Morley volume pedal. The only way you have to modify it too. If you ever want to find out how to make it actually work right, give me a holler. And so volume pedal, compressor, a little delay, you're ready to go. And single coils. If you got humbuckers, go out and get a real guitar. Okay, anyway, once again, I'm Scott Grove. We're going to get right into this. All kinds of licks. We're going to barrel through them, but if you went through the last course with me, you're going to be able to keep up. So no problem. You guys have fun. There's going to be a gazillion licks, and as you know me, there's going to be some tricks. So stick around, have fun, and here's that country part 2 that a lot of you have been asking for. Have fun. Here we go. Alrighty folks, you know the drill. This here's about all you get to see of me for the next hour. So what we're going to do here is, if some of you haven't figured it out by now, when I did the intro of this thing for the people on the internet to look at, I freaked them out. What I did is I tuned a whole half step down just so they couldn't figure out the licks in advance. So anyway, playing a trick on you guys, just see if you're paying attention. So we are back in regular tuning. There's our E chord, here's our G. If you sound like that, hey, good for you, you bought a guitar tuner. Okay, what we're going to start off with right now is some stuff that can be done in A, D, and E. Okay, are these the only keys that can be done in? Yep, unless you're going to use a capo and be one of those guys. But anyway, for my purposes right now, I'm going to do finger picking. You do whatever you want on this one. And what we're going to do is start in the key of A. We're going to use our thumb on the open A. Now what we're going to do is establish our basic A things. Okay, what we're going to do is go in the D string at the 7th fret with our middle finger, and then our first finger at the 5th, or the 6th fret, I'm sorry, on the G string. So we got those 3 strings. That's your A chord. Then we're just simply moving up to your 9th and your 7th fret on your D and your G string, and then up 2 more frets. So you have Okay, so those are your A, your little A triad things. That's your scale. So I'm hitting all three strings at the same time with my thumb and my two fingers. And to finish this whole thing out, you can go down here to the 5th fret on your D string, 4th fret on your G string. Then we're going to go 4th fret with your ring finger on the D string, 2nd fret with your 1st finger on the G string. Still hitting all three strings at the same time. And then finally just A. Don't let this one dot confuse you. It's a Washburn, for God's sake. You know it's why it's there, who knows. So there's A. Okay, and there's also another thing we can do with this. There's tons of things we're going to do with it real quick. I'm going to invert one thing. Okay, instead of this, we did the second part of it. When you're hearing A, up at the 7th and 6th fret, there we went to the 9th and the 7th, I'm going to change strings. Okay, so you've got open A, you've got 7th fret on the D string and 9th fret on the G string. Then I'm going right back to the A. So I'm going. Is actually what I'm playing. Okay, so all kinds of these open sounds. So how I'm getting these is by this. We're doing some ghost notes. Okay, we're going to that one. Okay, so when we go to the A, we're just adding our ring finger down on the 7th fret. Now I'm doing something totally different. We'll get back on the other thing in a sec. We're at the 5th fret on the D string, 4th fret on the G string, and then adding finally our ring finger back here at the 6th fret on the G string. Just create some cool tension. So we've got okay, we'll get to the other stuff in just a second. Things, make it your own. So that's a different way around what I'm getting ready to show you. The other stuff is strictly just what we started off with. Doing that kind of thing. You've got one other thing I learned from Steve Warner, and it's taking your A chord, making a D like this. You're putting your middle finger on the 3rd fret on the D string, making a D note on the B string. So adding on the 4th fret with your ring finger on the D string. So A string with your thumb. Next 3 strings with your next three fingers, everything but your pinky. Then making that chord, playing those 3 strings, your D, G, and B string. You're actually just playing. Okay, so you got 5th fret, 4th fret, and 5th fret again. So middle finger, 5th fret on your D string, your 1st finger or 4th fret on your G string, and back to your 5th fret with your ring finger on your B string. So back to this one. Okay, Okay, so it's just more of that open A stuff. Just another way of doing that. You guys know how to do that from before. We're just adding another note. That's all we're doing. So in the key of A, you've got all that kinds of fun stuff to do. Pull-offs, hammer-ons, whatever you want to do. Okay, so that's just a bunch of A stuff that you can be doing that some of you may have not thought about doing. What I'm actually going to do now is take you back and also do one more thing in A. Guy by the name of Skip Ewing. Back in the day, it was simply this, more of finger picking. It's just hammer-ons. So you're just using the A chord. Open the A string, play the two middle strings, and pull them off. You're just going up to the 5th fret, pull off, 4th fret, pull off, back to your A. So that's all that is, something quick and simple. I'm not going to go much more into it. You can figure that one out. But at speed. You know, that kind of thing. So that's just a cool little thing for you guys to work with. Okay, now we're going way back. I can't remember, probably, I know it was a girl that did this. Old time lick. You've heard it a million times. We're just going to go over it one time, and just so you know it. From 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So like from E, D, you know, all the way down to your A. So instead of going. And if you don't know that real quick, E, D, you got your C sharp minor. To E and A. Okay, so you can do all that kind of thing. Okay, that's not the lick, but the lick we're going to use over top of when your band is coming back from an E to an A or anything. You guys get to transpose this one. Is this old thing. You've heard it a million times, but I'm going to show it to you. Okay. You've heard that a million times. I think a steel player probably did invent it, but we're going to not try to make it sound like a steel guitar. We're going to make it just sound like a guitar. It's just a great lick to have if you don't know it already. So you're basically looking at like a D chord formation, but you're taking it all the way up here. You're going to be looking on the B string at the 17th fret. Get our E note. So we're actually going to start on the D string, go chromatically from 16, 17, 18. On the 16th, 17th, 18th fret. And then grab it with your middle finger on that 17th fret on the B string that's hitting your high E note. Then you're just coming chromatically backwards what you just did on that D string. And go into a D note, 15th fret on your B string. So now we're going to do our two minors, okay? Now if you think about it, you just stopped here on that dot. This whole thing here, you're going to look at it as moving back one fret. So you're actually going chromatic again, flattening it out, so you're going to that C sharp. So you're starting at 12, 13, 14, all on the D string. Flatten out that finger. Grab the note. So you have, then backward, flatten out your first finger on the 12th fret. Then you guessed it, right here's our A. So we're going to do just like the beginning, where we're going to go from the 9, 10, 11, and then grab that B string there at the 10th fret for our A chord. Once again, slowly. Then whatever you want. Or just a classy little old-time lick. Okay, now the thing that we're going to do now, this is very, very strange if you've never done this before. It's a cool, way out there, wacky sounding lick, but it looks great from the audience's point of view. This here is strictly a show-off move. Nothing special, it don't sound great, but it looks good. Okay? And it is this. Period. Just that kind of thing. It's just good if you're doing like your Foggy Mountain breakdown. And you're looking for licks to do, you know. It's just one of those. All it is simply always hammering on the D string at the 5th fret and pulling off to open. So you hit it open on your D string, hammer on the 5th fret, pull off every time. Every other note is that. That's all there is to it. So you're doing that, then you're doing the G string, same thing, but on the 4th fret on the G string, hammer on, pull off. Then back to the D string thing. G string, 5th fret, D string, 5th fret, G string, 7th fret, back to the D string. So you've got, that is all there is. You can do it all over the place. Bring it all the way up to here. But it's a cool thing. You can do it with other fingers. But it's just one of those cool little show-off licks. And that's about all the more time we actually need to even spend on that. Another thing is an old-time lick that some of you may or may not know. If you don't know it, that's why you've got this video. Simple old classic lick, but you got to have it. It's just a thing to get you into a 7th, like you're in the key. I'm going to stay in A for now, and before you switch to your D, so it's going to go to an A7 is what it's going to happen. So you're going to go up here. Here's the lick. Or you could just be coming back to the A still, not going to your 4 chord. But that's the lick. Okay, so we're in the key of A. We're going up to the 5th fret on your high E string. And we're going up to the 8th fret on your B string. So we're trying to bend that B string up to unison. So up to an A note with your E string. So you're hitting your B string first, bending it up. So you're alternating. Okay, I'll try to step back so you can see it. letting loose of it. We're going to do the same thing on the next string down, on the B string, but we're going to do it on the 5th fret and the 7th fret on your G string. Exact same thing, but we're doing it at 2 different frets. Now we're going to keep it on that same string, but we're going to move it down to the 2nd string on the B string, 4th or 2nd fret on the B string, 4th fret on the G string. Do the same thing. So that's what you've got. Then you're going to take your middle finger, slide it on your D string from your 3rd fret to your 5th. And that's a G note, which is your 7th of your A. So you end up with so a lot of vibrato gets it cool. So any key you want to do it in, you're up here in D. You know, just however you want to do it, but that's just an old cool standard lick. You can't go wrong with that one, folks. So once again, back here, and we'll get off this, is just a cool lick. And if you do it without your pick, you know, all the better to you. If I actually take the pick out of my hand, everything sounds better without a pick for the most part, except for rhythm guitar, unless you're doing like the Skip Ewing thing. If you're doing it with a pick, it's just not going to sound as cool. Here's my pick. You tell the difference already. So anyway, get used to getting rid of that stupid thing as much as you can. Okay, now here's something that is so cool. More hammer-ons and pull-offs. Tons of these things. You never realized they had such a place in country. Okay, now, there is 2 people that I stole this from. One of them being old Pete Anderson, Dwight Yoakam's guitar player, and also Edward Van Halen. That's right, they both used the same lick. Pretty much at the same time, too. Anyway, there was a song called Please Please Baby by Dwight Yoakam and Finish What You Started by Van Hagar. And they both use basically the same lick. I'm going to show you 2 in the key of E, since they both did it in the key of E, and it works out great. It is basically this. You already know most of it, you just don't know how to apply it. You never thought of it this way. If you've got E, so your middle finger on E at the 12th fret. Okay, only thing we're using is, that we're fretting anyway, is our E string and our G string through this whole entire thing. It's the only thing we're going to ever have any fingers on the fretboard. We're going to be playing more strings, but okay, so we've got our middle finger, 12th fret, E string. You've got your ring finger, 13th fret on the G string. And then you know if you take both of them, your first finger and your middle finger, on those same 2 strings up here at the 14th fret and at the 16th fret. Yes, I'm using a volume pedal. Everybody get you one. Do it now. Do it or die. Anyway, so that's our 3 little things, our triads, our 3, our scale. I'll show you how everything else comes in a second. We take it all the way down the whole neck. So we start from here, from all the way up here at the 16th fret. So we're actually taking the E just down a whole step, 2 frets to the D. Then we're going to work off of this A position. So you got the 9th fret on both those strings. Same 2 strings all the time. Down 2 more frets. Now A. So you're at the 5th and the 6th, so then your G string. Then the same thing as we did before, where you're on the 4th fret. And you finally finish it open, just like we did up here. Same thing here, 4th fret, 2nd, and end up. That's the whole lick all the way down. Now that's not the actual lick, but that's your positionings. So again, follow me all the way down. Or just that. One more time and I'm going to show you what the lick is. One more time for my sake. Okay, now here's the lick. One more time. How do we do this? Okay, that's all you do on your right hand. Thumb down on your G string, then you're using your middle finger on the high E string, index finger on your B string, thumb again on your G string this time. So if I'm on here, okay, and I'm pulling off whatever note is on the high E string at the time that I pluck it. And I'm trying to mute the rest of them after the initial note. Okay, so you're letting this note ring, then you're hitting this note, pulling off, the next two are clicks. You're muting them. Okay, so that's how it's actually done. I'll step back further away so you can see the whole lick. Okay, but when it goes by fast, you can let them all ring if you want to. It's got its own sound. I'll let you hear it that way. It's also got its own sound. The way Eddie Van Halen played it was... what's his head? Pete Anderson, Bright Yoakum. He actually did it the way I showed you at the beginning. Then he actually did something else that's cool. We're going to keep on trucking through here, kids. We got a lot to do. I want you to make an E chord. Looks like a D. So take your D chord, move it up to E, but now make a 7th out of it. So you've got, right? Same thing, you're going to use these here. You're going to be pulling off. So you're going to do thumb, middle, pull off, B string, then your thumb again on the G string. So thumb, back and forth from this position, E7 to E flat 7. Everything ringing. Okay, another cool thing is breaking it up. I'm just going to pass by this real quick. We've got a lot of things to do. Okay, you can break it up like that. Now, Pete Anderson also did at the end of the Please Please Baby solo, was from this. And he did it chromatically, all the way up from E7, all the way up to E7. Okay, that's just doing the same thing. So fast. It's very cool. So you can even do it backward. It's such a cool lick. If you're playing in the key of E, do that. Do it forward, however you want to. All hammer on, pull off, the whole thing. Don't stop anywhere. Anyway, very cool lick. Work on that. It is worth its weight in gold. Anyway, the next thing I'm going to show you is one little. This here is not a lick. It's just a pointer. If you're playing a song in the key of, I don't care, and you're playing in the 1 chord. Say the song is in the key of. Here we go. A. Surprise, surprise. Okay, I'm playing whatever simple lick. Okay, now when we go to the D, don't be chasing the chords and all of a sudden think, okay, I have to go up here and I have to play in D now. Anytime you're playing in the 1, in A, or whatever chord you're playing in, when you go to the 4, if you don't know this already, you can 100% stay on your A licks. You don't have to chase the chord. It sounds too mechanical, like, okay, I'm playing an A, I'm playing an A, okay, they switched to D. I gotta switch to D. No, you don't. Stay in the 1 key. You can do it whenever you want to, of course. That's what guitar playing is all about. Music's all about whatever you want to do. But I'm going to switch chords, okay, and show you the same thing. Okay? We got this. Here's your A. Simple A licks. Now I'm going to switch to D. Back to A. On E, of course, I had to switch. But see, you don't have to go chasing chords. Once again, A. I'll play it up here. D. Back to A. Okay, so anyway, point proven. You can stay in your 1 chord when the band goes up to the 4. So just a little tidbit there for you. Okay, here's another thing I want to show you. If you're playing a slow song, get your volume pedal and your compressor, Boss CS3 compressor. Morley volume pedals, quick hint, inside of them. The reason I say Morley is because if you use the volume pedal on your guitar, you lose all your tone. It goes to crap, your high end goes off. If you use any regular volume pedal, it's got the same dang pot in it. Use a Morley, it's active, your tone don't change when your volume goes up and down because it actually runs off of a photoelectric cell and keeps your tone the same all the time. Thing is, Morley's screwed up on, they've got a photoelectric cell on one side and a little LED light bulb on the other side, and there's a little piece of metal going back and forth between the two that lets a certain amount of light through, which controls how much volume you have. They have it, a cutout in it, which looks like a straight line, and then a big box at the end of it. Okay? So it reads when you're pushing down on it, straight line, straight line, straight line, then a big box. So that's what your volume sounds like. Just straight, you're pushing down on it, nothing happens. Then all of a sudden you get to a certain point, then it's full volume. It's totally worthless. You have to open it up and make it look like a V so that your volume gets louder as it lets more light through. So just get in there and cut that out with whatever you have. Do it a little at a time. Put your pedal back down, try it out till it gets right. One of these days they'll make the stupid thing right. Nobody makes anything right, but anyway, that's what you got to do, and you'll have the coolest volume pedal around. Okay, so there's that. Anyway, what I was going to say is on slow songs, I'm just going to take this, see if I can't slow this whole progression down a little bit. And I'll take my rhythm and change it, see what we got. Not a whole bunch, but hey, we'll take it down. Hopefully it's still not banjo-y. It is, but That's okay. We'll slow her down even a little bit more. And what I want to show you guys is using volume pedals. Insofar as things. Now imagine this is a good sounding track. I'm going to go to a different pickup sound. And I'm going to show you the subtleties of volume pedal using with your compressor, which gives you tons of sustain. I'm going to go like to the 4th position, these 2 pickups here. And if you could tell, I'll bring in a little, I'm just going to play an A note. Okay, it's just that little kind of thing. Just if you're using a volume pedal, just creep in on these notes. You've got your A note. Okay, so all the notes you would normally play, you've got tons of sustain, tons of headroom left with your volume pedal. Another thing is a little lick like this. I'm going to halt this for just a second. I thought I was. There we go. If you're in the key of A, we're playing the 2 high strings, your E and your B string on the 5th fret with 1 finger. Just simply that, up to the 7th, back to the 5th. 1 stroke of the pick. Then, same thing. Yeah, I've taught you before. Those types of licks. Those are cool in little things like this. So you're playing. I can last a lot longer than you because I'm not doing this stupid thing. It's worthless with a volume knob, plus your tongue goes to crap. Anyway, again, Morley volume pedal, you gotta get in there and rehash it because they don't make it right. Boss CS3 compressor is the only compressor out there. Okay, now what we're gonna do here, okay, we've got, if you're doing any minor stuff, very quickly, Mark Knopfler, Dire Straits, Sultan the Swing. You've heard that lick a million times. If you know it, great. But most of you country players, you get stuck in a minor somehow. You don't know what the heck to do if you're playing lead. That's the greatest thing to go to. That's what I always go to, some variation of that. So say in the key of D minor. Okay, so you're going to go D on your G string, which is the 7th fret. Just build a staircase. So your 7th fret on your G string, 6th on your B, 5th on your E string. There's your D minor. If you play way up here, whatever your ring finger is, that's the key you're in, or the note you're playing, the chord you're playing. There's A minor. So here's the lick. Okay, so we're going to start here on the high E string. So 5, 8, 5, then 6 on the B string. To finish out, 5, 6, 5 on the B string, hammer on pull off, then D. And you could do step and a half bends because it's a minor. Or you can play them that way. So anything along that lines if you get stuck in a minor. So don't play it just like Mark Knopfler because we're going to think, hey. but use that lick. It's just a great thing if you're, like, again, I'm going to bring in this stupid guy. I'm going to stick him in A minor. So I'm up here in A. Okay, point in case, that's about all we need to know on that. So that's just a quick way of getting a nice, cool sounding lick for minors. Just whatever you can make up through there, but don't make it sound like the Sultans of Swing thing. Okay, another thing I'm going to show you is so simple, you probably already know this one. Hopefully you do. I'm going to go to the key of D just because it's going to be easy. So we're in D, and it's just simply these three notes. So you're starting on D, you're going up, so you're on the 7th fret, you're going up to the 10th fret. So it's one time, and then a pull off. So you've got to slide from 10 to 9, and then pull off to 7. Same thing on your D string. So you have. And then you're going on your A string down to the 5th fret. Doing the same thing, but you're going from 8 to 7 to 5. So, okay, and you can do it starting from an octave higher. Go up to the D. It's just a good common sense lick. Let's see if I can get my other beat back. Let's see, where's our rhythm? Let's go to this, bring up our tempo. Let's get her on up here. Let's go back down to D. Okay, here's D with that lick. It's just a good all-purpose lick. I'm not going to spend any more time on it, but that is a good all-purpose lick. Okay, we're going to do this. Here's something that none of you have probably ever thought of. If you do play slide guitar of any kind, I like to put in at least one surprise in every video that has no musical value whatsoever, and this is your one. Okay? If you are a good slide player, hopefully you are. If you're not, go out and buy my slide video. It will teach you everything you need to know. A lot of times, I will play the slide over top like a dobro player would. Okay? Instead of, on your finger like you normally would. Okay, but for our purposes today, we're going to need to play it over the top. There's a thing here called a pickup right here by your neck. Just for fun, if you're doing boot, scoot, and boogie or whatever, and you happen to be a second guitar player and you need to make some sound effects, they've got that race car sound. I can get it up here on my synthesizers, but you guys probably don't have that. Another cool thing you could do, or just for a noise, is simply, if you actually put your pickup selector on the bridge pickup all by itself, as soon as your slide bar passes your pickup, it makes a noise like you've never heard before. Okay? I don't know if you've ever done it, but here it is, coming at you. Clean tone. Okay? I was just going from an E chord. But, so if you actually ever wanted to create something, you could actually start right by the pickup. It's just a weird sound. I come up with it once because my guitar was laying down flat. I went to go pick up the phone and the steel started rolling as my guitar was turned up. and it made that noise, and I had to go back and see what it was. It was just the steel, or the slide just rolling across my guitar, and it passed up that pickup it happened to be on. So why it makes that sound, who knows? Probably like one of those ambulance things out there in Britain. It just almost sounds like a cartoon. But there's a weird little effect you can use. Okay, enough of the fun or the annoying stuff. Anyway, you've got these licks. I touched on some B and G bender licks last time. Now we've got these. We're going to do them on the B string and the E string. Why I left them out of the last lesson, I don't know. Okay, we're going to go up here to G. Of course, we're going to play it up here, just like if you're playing your D chord. Building it out of that. Okay, so what we're going to go do is actually be playing this lick starting on the 8th fret on your B string with your first finger. But we're going to actually now put down on the 9th fret, or I'm sorry, 10th fret with your middle finger. You're going to let that finger behind here help push it up. And you're going to put your pinky on that 10th fret on the high E string. So you bend it up, and then hit the high E string. See, I'm doing it with my, you can do it with whatever. If you want to use a pick, use a pick, but sounds better always without it. That's what we're going to do. B string, E string, B string again while it's still bent. And while it's still bent, we're going to do this. Okay, you see where we're going now. So this is tough. Okay, we're going to bend this dude up. Now we're actually letting loose of everything, except for that string that is bent up. Except for that B string that's bent up. We're letting go of everything. And we're putting our first finger over here on the 8th fret, but this time on the high E string. Finally releasing that note after you hit it again on the B string. And finally resolving with your first finger on that G note there at the 8th fret on the B string. And also, to get a 7th out of this thing, we're going to have to do it. I've got a callus I have to peel off right here real quick. There we go. Just another variation of how we did it last time. Play this G. Now play G7 out of it. So you're just actually taking the one that you made the 7th out of, starting with it bent up, hitting your high E string first. Then hitting your B string, releasing it, then hitting your G string, hitting your B string again, and your E string again. Okay, so that's a whole nother one. So we're just going to blast through these things. We got about 10 more minutes so we can actually go here. I'm going to give you as many of these as I can. Here's another cool hammer-on lick all the way up the neck. I'm going to blow by this one in about 1 minute or less. Okay? Here we go. We've got open B string. We're going to do this on the B string and the E string only. Everything you're going to play, every hammer-on, is going to be on the B string. You're never going to play any notes on the E string. So on the B string, open... Open 3rd, 5th. All hammer-ons. You're only playing one time. Everything is hammer-on. All 3 notes. Every time hammer-on. Then you hit the high E string. Then we just move it up. So on the B string it's open, 5th, 7th. And then the open E string. Then open, 7, 9, open E string. Then open 9, 10. Then open 10, 12. So it's just that same thing over and over again. So you've got. But work on that. That's fun. That's cool. Okay, now we're going to keep doing some other stuff. I'm going to detune. If you ever detune for anything like, for anything, who cares what it's for? And you have to tune that. Okay, I'm not going to show you anything cool with that other than don't forget to actually use some low, cool chords. Okay? Just basically this. Make sure you know that you can play all 3 low strings as big chords. Don't forget they're there, man. Thicken up your music. Okay, so you're playing. Remember, you've got great big power sound and chords you can use now. Throw a little bit of slight distortion on there, heavy distortion, or whatever. It's all good now, but that's all that is. I just want to show it to you that while you're tuned down, don't forget to take advantage of those one-note chords. Just while you're there. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to show you is just strictly harmonics all the way up. If you're playing a D chord, play a D chord with your harmonics. Okay, I'm just going an octave higher. So you're playing the 2nd fret on your A string, hit the 2nd fret. The next note in the chord and. So you're just actually just tapping out the harmonics. Whatever you make, if you're making an A chord. It's not going to happen well unless you have a compressor. But it's real cool if you're doing lead work with it. This is all I'm going to touch on. So if you're doing the 2nd fret. So you're playing exactly whatever you're playing down here, but you hammer on the harmonic up here. It's just another idea for you to mess with. Okay? Here's one other thing. I've actually got let me see here. I've got this thing we got to do. Play an E chord, regular E chord. Okay? Now what I want you to do is move it up 1 fret. I know this sounds stupid as all get out. Okay? Now move it up again. Now move it up again. So we're at the 5th fret. Okay, now this is actually a G chord. And all I'm saying on this thing is whatever you're playing with, pick or not, I'm getting rid of my pick, is I'm going to play it. What am I doing? All I'm doing, you've got your G in the middle, you've got a 5th below. And then you've got, on your G string at the 4th fret, I'm bending that down towards the floor a half step. I'm hitting the lowest string on your A. And starting with a pre-bend, half step. And then playing all 3 strings coming up. Then again, adding a D, so up at the 7th fret on the G string with my pinky. It's also just a cool little thing to have there to end a song with. However you want to use it, but it's going to make you think of something different. You're actually using your D string as your source of reference for your note. So an A would be up here at the 7th fret on your D string, and build a 5th below that and a 3rd above that, but you bend your 3rd. Okay, now let me see what else I've got over here. Chromatic G string. I don't remember what that one is. I probably should have wrote that one down. But anyway, try to use all these as much as you can. Like I said, I went through all these as fast as I could, and I know you guys are quick enough to really grasp them, get a hold of them, and I try to show them faster and faster and faster so I don't have to keep sending you guys 2 discs or whatever like that. So once again, I'm going to go straight down the line, do a quick coverall. We did all the A stuff. With the variation. Okay, we did this little thing in A. We had our type of thing here. We had this in A, or whatever key. We had our Dwight Yoakam Van Halen things with our and where you can actually go higher, or do this. Or however you want to do it. Okay, and you've got your minor stuff, your licks. Don't chase your chords around. You've got your and sliding your slide bar past your pickup. Anyway, all these things, go out and get yourself the Morley volume pedal, do the modifications I told you, get the Boss CS3 compressor. There is so many things to be done here. Anyway, use the rewind thing on this thing like crazy. I had to cram a bunch in here. Hope you guys enjoy this thing. I know it was a big old cluster thing trying to get it all crammed in, but hopefully you enjoy all the new little stuff and the things I left out of the last one just because we ran out of time. Once again, I'm down here. About 50 pounds heavier. Anyway, once again, Scott Grove here, saying thanks a lot. Keep on chicken picking. You guys have a lot of good times. I want to keep making these as long as you guys want them. So take care. Bye-bye.